Good evening, all. Welcome back to DAS TV. As you can see in the thumbnail, Arsenal Liverpool tomorrow at the Emirates is postponed. Liverpool have had to forfeit the second leg that was due at Anfield. We played at the Emirates. So next Thursday, the 13th, and the following Thursday, the 20th, is when the two legs will be played. The first leg now will be at Anfield instead of the Emirates, and the second leg at the Emirates instead of Anfield. A little bit of a mess with the whole COVID situation. We know that the AXA training centre in Kirby in Liverpool was closed yesterday when they reported for training had to close, and the same today. Liverpool wouldn't have had any managers available for this. Obviously Jurgen Klopp, an assistant manager, and Pep Linders have been both positive, so they weren't going to be available for tomorrow. And also Liverpool, from what I hear, apparently the goalkeepers, they wouldn't have had any goalkeepers registered for this game. So if you haven't got a goalkeeper registered for this, then the match can't go ahead. You could have 20, 30, 40 players wherever available. You need to have a registered goalkeeper. So apparently all the Liverpool goalkeepers and some of the goalkeeping coaching staff, I know Achterberg, apparently what I'm hearing, have all tested positive. So there's been a big outbreak amongst Liverpool, and an outbreak now that has obviously postponed the game tomorrow, which, look, it's a pity, and it's a shame, obviously, because I think every Liverpool fan wanted this to go ahead. A semi-finals, you want that to come around sooner rather than later. And, the second leg back at Anfield, no matter who we play in what competition, we fancy our chances. The fact that we did an FA Cup against Shrewsbury and our next league game isn't until the following Sunday, which would make it, I don't know what date that would make it, and whatever date, the 16th maybe of January. We had plenty of time and plenty of preparation to play a lot of the main lads. So I think you would have seen Van Dijk, Fabinho, obviously if they're all fit and none of them affected by COVID, playing in this game, because we both teams have been affected by the AFCON, with Arsenal having no Pepe, Arteta, we know the manager wasn't going to be there, Partey, Aubameyang, El Nini, and Liverpool obviously have no Keita, Salah and Mane. So there's already a couple of players out and not available for this with the AFCON on. But when you throw COVID in on top of it, it's been a nightmare, particularly of late for Liverpool, because it's only gotten worse. We've seen the couple of cases a few weeks ago breaking when we were going to Newcastle, where we'd Jones, Van Dijk wasn't available. We'd someone else was there. Then obviously with Firmino, Matip, we'd no Thiago available, we'd no Henderson. There's been a couple of cases of late, a couple of close contacts as well. But it's a shame that the game has to be off tomorrow, and it doesn't work out as well as what we would have planned, because I was looking forward to seeing the game tomorrow, and obviously the second leg then at Anfield next week. But it is what it is. We've had to forfeit our second leg for the second leg to be played now at the Emirates, and then we play at home in the fourth one. But I think over two legs, look, we'd always fancy our chances against Arsenal. Every year we play Arsenal at Anfield, and it's a yearly spanking, isn't it? Of recent, Arsenal were 10 games unbeaten. I think they'd won 8 and drew 2, I think, out of the 10 games. It might have been that. I think I'm right about that. But whatever it was, and anyway, we were going in and we'd only lost one game, and that was against West Ham, who were really poor again. So come around the international break, and after that, it was the first game back at the end of November, and I think there was a lot made that Arsenal were going to beat Liverpool, Arsenal would be favourites, and Liverpool are starting to drop off now in the strength and depth and all this sort of nonsense. But I don't think we played as terribly against West Ham as it was made out to be, because we still scored 2 goals in the game. We still had a few chances to get a third or fourth goal in the game. But we went out and we spanked Arsenal, didn't we? It was 4-0 on the day. I think Arsenal had a good start to the game, first couple of minutes, but that was it. So I'm not saying I'm going to expect the score to be that high, because since then I think Arsenal have only lost to United. I think United beat them 3-2, didn't they, at Old Trafford? So the form has been decent. In the last couple of months, Arsenal's form has definitely been decent, and they've improved massively under Arteta, and they're more of a contender now for the top 4 than they've ever been, and they've surprised me because they've been a lot more consistent and a lot harder to beat. But I think over two legs you fancy Liverpool. We've had a little bit of a dip lately, 2 points out of 3 Premier League games. But having saying that, this is not the Premier League. This is a different competition. This is a competition that we've done well in now up to this point, and we've been doing well in even in the Champions League outside of the Premier League. But we obviously were going to have a lot less options, as I said, the lads at the AFCON, and then you're going to have whoever else was going to be out with COVID hasn't been confirmed, but we know there's going to be no Alisson. There was no Matip or Firmino for this game. We know Thiago's out, we know Minamino, Origi are out with injury. So big shout out there to Aled, Klopp Talk TV, big up Daz. I'm good, brother. I hope you're good too. Just doing a short one here because obviously the news that was announced earlier, I actually heard it myself earlier at about 12 that the game was going to be off. I know Sky Sports announced at 1 o'clock, but there was obviously a lot going around on Twitter. I think majority of fans knew before Sky had released that the game was off, that was official. But it's a bit of a shame, you know. But look, if you haven't got registered keepers to play in this game and you don't have the numbers and you're possibly going to have to look at getting under 23s and all, then obviously, you know, it probably suits us that it is off. But it's still, you know, there's going to be a big fixture congestion now as well, because I mean, it means now it's another week without a game. Is the game even against Shrewsbury going to be on Sunday? We don't know, but we'll wait and see. Aled there, everybody go over and subscribe to Aled's channel on Klopp Talk TV. I'd say most of you anyway that do tune in on this have already subscribed, but if you haven't, he's a top bloke. Aled throws in here from Klopp Talk TV. I don't think having second leg at Emirates helps us, especially considering the lads who come out of isolation for a game at Anfield will come out a day or two before. That's true. Yeah, if some of them are boosted, though, I think the isolation period is less. But I don't know if they are. I don't even know exactly at this stage now who has it. You know, I knew a day in advance of the Chelsea game who the three lads were that had it. That it was Alisson, Matip, and Firmino and Klopp. You know, who we all knew before them who had it. But now, obviously, you know, even the assistant Pep Linders has it. Apparently, all the goalkeepers have it. So we haven't got a registered goalkeeper. And then some of the other staff, and there are some other players as well who I haven't heard of at all. I'm going to be honest, bro. But yeah, the second leg is look at, instead of having it at Anfield, because you always fancy Liverpool having the second leg at Anfield. But look, we've done okay at the Emirates over the years, and we've done really well at Arsenal against Arsenal at Anfield. So I still think over two legs you fancy your chances. And obviously, by the time the game comes around, you'd imagine we're going to have more availability in players. Well, I hope and pray we do. So let's wait and see if that does suit us, bro. I am good, thank you, brother. I hope you're well too, mate. Yeah, absolutely, Alert. Good to hear, bro. I am good. As I said, just on doing a quick one with the news, obviously breaking early of the game being off. Nobody knows, unfortunately, and that's the anxious part. There is, bro. It definitely is anxious. But if some of them are boosted too, I believe some are in the team. Wouldn't say most of them are. The isolation period is going to be less. Man like Shawnee, big up, bro. I know you were on to me earlier on Instagram with a couple of stuff we did chat back and forth. Should have been a one-off semi-final. You did say that anyway, especially with the fixture congestions. Yeah, you had, I think your idea or proposal was one leg in a neutral venue, which, look, would have been smart as well. But I know, you know, the fixtures and the legs, because the draw was done and because the fixtures were arranged and stuff like that, had to probably happen over two legs, and probably for the fairness of the competition, it had to happen one at home and one away from home. But look, to be honest with you, lads, I'm always confident against Arsenal. I do think it'll be tough. It will be tough over two legs, whether it be tomorrow, whenever it's going to be. But I do fancy us to progress into the final. We've more experience now, we've more know-how, we've more knowledge. I think what Klopp is doing now, obviously, you know, it's great in terms of he's looking at more the domestic cups, and I think with, you know, the league, I'm not going to say it's over, but, you know, there's a bit of relief that we're not favourites now with a chasing pack. We just have to, you know, put more, I think, focus now and energy and concentration into the cups, because I said at the start of the season, if we challenge on all fronts and we can win silverware, it'd be a great season. And at the moment, we can still not just have a good season, but a great season. I believe we do win one of these cups. And I think this is a cup, you can see the four teams in it, four informed teams as well, and Chelsea, ourselves, Spurs and Arsenal. It's all the makings of being a great final and two legs of the semi-final. Let's do this, bro. Yeah, hopefully, bro. Big up man like Shawnee. The two lads are praising each other, as always, in the comments, which you love to see. But it is off tomorrow, we know. It's not going ahead. Liverpool's next game against Shrewsbury on Sunday afternoon at Anfield. I was pictured in Liverpool going into the game tomorrow night. We're playing the likes of Van Dijk, your Fabinho's, Robbo, Trent, these players, Henderson, Curtis Jones comes back in for it, Jota, a couple of these lads were going to play tomorrow. Then we were going to go with a lot less of our senior players on Sunday. And it's no disrespect to Shrewsbury. At home in the FA Cup third round, we always do tend to play. A lot of our youth, a mixture of some of the experience. Maybe Milner would be back in for that. Maybe he would have also played tomorrow, Milner. But, if you look at it over the years, there was no way Klopp was going to go big against Arsenal, Shrewsbury, and then Arsenal the second leg. I think he was looking at the two semi-finals against Arsenal as going near enough to his strongest full-strength team as possible. Then Shrewsbury wouldn't have. And then the game against Brentford and then Palace after that, he's obviously will as well. And then after that, then I think we play, is it an international break, and then it's Leicester at home. So you would have had then the return of Keita, Salah and Mane. And obviously there's another conversation to have, isn't there? Do we sign someone this month? If you look at over the years, in January, we don't really sign players, do we? In January, you get fleeced for signing someone in January, and you also pay, getting fleeced paying over the odds, but do you get the target you really want? You go back to a few years ago when we brought in Van Dijk in January, but we went in for them in the summer, and there was accusations of tapping up and that, and it was very controversial with Southampton. We never looked to bring in anybody else. We went and brought in Van Dijk. So unless there was someone we were targeting, we seen the same with Kanate last year. We were in bits, in a mess. Come this time last year with centre halves, and we couldn't bring Kanate in the summer, and we waited till then to bring her in. So I wonder if there was someone we were targeting or going for in the summer that might come in now. I'm not hearing of anybody, but I think we probably will muddle through this now with the lads going to the AFCON. We'll muddle through January, because there's only a couple of games, and we won't do any business now till this summer, I don't think. Which, look, journalists and all a lot of people, the main people associated with Liverpool, did say that 22 was kind of going to be the more or less the start of a rebuild, wasn't it, at Liverpool, where that's where we're going to bring in some of these players that we were targeting. So let's wait and see, because we haven't done much transfer business. But I would love to see a player, two players possibly come in this month, because I always believe adding new blood to the team refreshes everything. It keeps the current lads on their toes, but also gives the current lads some belief, some drive, just to finish off that last couple of months of the season on a high. And I think at the moment, personally, we could do with that, But man like Shawnee throws in a comment there, any news on Sunday game? Could you imagine that game also get postponed? Nothing yet at the moment, Shawnee. I will let you know if we hear that, brother, through Instagram, but nothing at the moment. No, at the moment, as it stands, obviously, with all the cases we're having, with all the staff, I wouldn't be surprised if there's the AXA is in Kirby is also training facility is closed tomorrow. I'm hoping not, but if there is, then there's probably a strong chance that could be too. I'm hoping it's not. I'd love to see the game go ahead Sunday. Look, we all are football fans. We all want to see games going ahead. Liverpool footballers are players. They want to play and participate in as many games as possible, and especially this, because at this period of the season, having the Leeds game called off, having that little extended break, having now this Arsenal game being off, it's the lads just want to be getting out and playing, because if you reschedule them, when is the best time, to reschedule them? I mean, you've had this, Shawnee, before this talk of when do you, because we're going to be getting to a hectic stage of the season now, particularly after the international break, where every few days there's a game. You're going to have Champions League come back around. If we progress in the FA Cup, which I believe we will, your fourth, fifth round quarterfinals, then you have the Carabao Cup, 2 games to come up, and then the final. So there's a lot to play for this season, but we do need to be mindful that there's not going to be too many games, intense, too many on top of each other. So that because we have the Leeds as well game, which is rescheduled, that we still have to play. So look, it is what it is. The situation's not going to change now, but I would love to see the game Sunday go ahead, and I'm hoping, praying that does go ahead, because we all want to see Liverpool back in action. It's at Anfield. Then we play at Anfield Thursday as it stands against Arsenal, and then we play Brentford the following Sunday at Anfield, and then it's away to Palace at Selhurst Park. So we just go with it from there. But as we all know, and the news broke earlier on just before 1 o'clock, I was actually talking to Shawnee. I think I'd said to a man like Shawnee that the game was off, and then Sky had obviously announced it. It was the inevitable, really. I think we all knew from about 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning that it was looking like the game wasn't going to go ahead. And obviously yesterday Liverpool requested to the EFL for the game to be off. And it's not off or cancelled, it is postponed, so it's just rescheduled to next week. But anybody that doesn't know, it is Anfield next Thursday the 13th, the following Thursday the 20th at the Emirates. So Liverpool have had to forfeit the home advantage in the second leg. That's probably the only bad thing to come out of it, but we will have more players back in contention to compete over them 2 legs against Arsenal. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the week, and hope look, if there is anything coming up, anything new, I will be back on here doing a stream. I'm going to come back on before the weekend. Definitely on Friday I'm going to come back on. I was going to do a preview today. This was meant to be a preview for Arsenal, and then come on after the game on Friday to give some analysis and some kind of take on how the game went. But that's off, so I will come on Friday to do some sort of preview for Shrewsbury in the FA Cup third round the weekend, and touching on maybe some of the other FA Cup games that are coming up the weekend. And that's, of course, if it does go ahead. But the content of this channel won't be postponed or cancelled anytime soon. And anyway, we'll keep rolling with some of the content. But thanks to everybody that did come in on the comments. Remember to like this video, comment and share it, and subscribe to Daz TV. I hope you all have a good evening. Enjoy the football. I know it's Chelsea and Spurs, the first leg tonight. Leave in the comments who you want as well in the final, if we were to go through against Arsenal. Who do you want to win over Chelsea and Spurs? To be honest with you, I'm not too fussed about that. Personally, I think Chelsea, obviously, are doing well, having a good season. They went off the boil a bit of late with a lot of draws, and they've only, I think they've lost, is it 2 league games they lost all season, drawn 6 and lost 2. But the Chelsea are, I don't know if I'd want them. I don't know if I'd want Spurs with Conte in there now. They're very composed, compact, they're very organised. They'll be tough, and Conte always wins big. So would you want Spurs? It's their first final since we've played them in Madrid in 2019. I don't know. To be honest with you, I wouldn't want any of them, but they won't want those either. But look, if we get through against Arsenal, we're obviously going to get Chelsea or Spurs. So roll on whoever, but we have to get by them first and get these games on. Big shout out, Archie. How are you, bro? Hope all's good. Fair play, Daz. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, bro. I will be, as I was just saying there, if you only come on, I'll be doing a preview on Friday. I'll be on Friday afternoon. Some sort of preview for Shrewsbury on Sunday if it goes ahead, of course. We're hoping it does, but we know the AXA train facility in Kirby and Liverpool was closed yesterday. It was closed today. Big outbreak. All the goalkeepers apparently have tested positive, and some of the coaching staff and some of the other players. So, obviously, if we haven't got a registered keeper, then the game couldn't go ahead, which is a shame, because we want to see the games going ahead. But the situation is what it is. The whole COVID has been a bit of a mess, because it wasn't so long ago that there was teams saying they want the games called off. Then they were able to go ahead with the games. Then 2 hours before kick-off, the games were all being called off. Then some of the games were being called off for teams that then said they could go ahead. You heard the latest of even Pep's come out, Pep Guardiola, saying if his players get it, he's just not going to play them and not going to say anything, So it's a bit of a farce at the moment how it's going through the league. But it is what it is. We know Arsenal, Liverpool is off. And I'll be back on Friday preview of Shrewsbury if it goes ahead. If it doesn't, we'll still come on. We'll talk more. I'm sure in the next few days we'll be more revealed about who has had COVID at Liverpool and what have you, and who's close contacts and that, and we'll know more as the week goes on. But good evening to you all. I hope you have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of the week, and Happy New Year. And like Shawnee just read out the last comment, it doesn't matter who we play, it will be tough. Let's just get to the final. That's it, Shawnee. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, bro. Let's just get there, beat Arsenal. Both teams are going to be tough in Chelsea and Spurs, but we can do it over the two of them if we get to Wembley. No doubt about it. And that game isn't until the last Sunday in February, so it's some time away from now. Hopefully come then. There's a lot less COVID around, and we have everybody fit, fired and ready for that game. But good evening to you all. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be back on Friday, as I said, Friday afternoon. Take care.